It's been 3 years since the release of Genshin Impact, and one of the first things people think when wanting to embark on the journey of Teyvat is if they've missed out on too much or if it's even worth starting in 2024. It's a valid question since FOMO is real and nobody enjoys playing catch-up with people who've been playing the game since 2021. However, as a returning player myself, I'm going to tell you why I think right now is one of the best times to get started or return to Genshin Impact. Let's get started. So the most important factors to consider when wanting to start or return to Genshin Impact is definitely the exploration / world building and the gacha system of the game. So let's start with exploration / world building first, right? So here's a quick way to find out if Genshin Impact gameplay will be enjoyable for you as a new player. If you're a returning player, it's the same thing, you know, like you already know what you're getting into. But for a new player, ask yourself these questions. Are the graphics appealing to you? And do you find the environment interesting or immersive? And number 2, what are your first impressions of the characters in the game? Do you find any of them cool or particularly interesting? If your answer to at least one of these questions is yes, then I recommend trying the game. At the end of the day, Genshin Impact is a single player game and it's supposed to immerse you into the world of Teyvat. And back when the game first came out, there were only 2 regions to explore. Now there are 5, meaning there's more than double the content of when the game first released. So these regions aren't low effort content either. Each region has their own unique aesthetic, characters, quest lines, and challenges, and offer a different experience in each one. So for example, Inazuma is based off Japan, which can be seen in the region's fashion and architecture. Same can be said for Liyue, which is based off China, or Mondstadt, which is based off Germany. So yeah, each region is extremely unique and offers a fresh experience with new enemies and story quests. And at the end of the day, if you don't find either the graphics or characters interesting or appealing, then you will not find the game to be fun. So if your answer to any of those questions that I said previously were no, Genshin Impact is not the game for you, and you know, that's okay. Genshin Impact is not a mechanically difficult game to play, and the story is pretty average, so if you're looking for a game that is going to challenge you mechanically or will teach you the meaning of life, this is not the one. It's more of a game where you play to relax or wind down after a long day. So yeah, moving forward, let's talk about the gacha system. So if you're looking to get into Genshin Impact, you're probably wondering about the gacha system. And, you know, Hoyoverse has made some changes to the gacha system to make it slightly better since release, but it's been more or less the same. If you've never heard of or learned about the gacha system in Genshin Impact before, I'm gonna do a brief rundown right here real quick. So the gacha system in this game, they call it wishing. So in order to wish for characters, you need to get fates, which can be bought with Primo Gems, which is the currency in this game. And you can obtain Primo Gems as you progress throughout the game, doing the main story quests, side quests, events, etc. And, you know, you can always use your credit card too to purchase Genesis crystals from the shop, which can then be converted to Primo Gems. So for the wishing system, Genshin, most importantly, has a pity system. At least they have a pity system. You are at least guaranteed a character that you want after a certain point. So the hard pity is set at 90 wishes, but the soft pity starts at 70 wishes for a 5-star. And by the time you hit around 80 wishes, you will most likely get a 5-star character or weapon. If it's your first time summoning on a limited event banner, the first time you get a 5-star, it will be a 50% chance that it will be the character on that banner. If you do miss the 50% chance and you get a different character that's not on the rate up banner, the next time you get a 5-star character, it will be guaranteed the rate up character that you want. So that's how the pity system works in Genshin Impact. So each wish costs about 160 Primo Gems. So you would need about 12,800 Primo Gems to summon 80 times. And the main question you might be asking is Genshin Impact free to play friendly? In my opinion, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Sure, you won't be able to summon for every 5-star character and weapon in the game as a free to play, but I think the game gives you enough Primo Gems to summon for most of the characters that you want, especially with the amount of content that's in the game right now and all the quests that give you Primo Gems. There's a lot of income right now. So for example, in this most recent patch 4.3, you can earn a total of 7,690 Primo Gems from the newly added content. And there's a new patch every 6 weeks that comes out with new ways to earn Primo Gems. So there's also budget ways to increase your income on Primo Gems, such as the Blessing of the Welkin Moon, which for 5 USD or 5 Euro, it gives you an immediate 300 Genesis crystals, so that's 300 Primo Gems, and an additional 300 Primo Gems per day for 30 days. And there's also the Battle Pass, the value which you can see in this graphic that I put up for the most recent patch. So you can see that excluding the Battle Pass and Welkin, you get a total of 53 pulls throughout the 6 weeks. Including Welkin, you get 76 pulls, and including the Welkin and Battle Pass, you'll get 85 pulls for this patch duration. So is Genshin Impact free-to-play friendly? I'd say it's definitely leaning toward the not free-to-play friendly side, especially if you want every character and all their weapons. You're definitely not getting that as a free-to-play player, let me just tell you. But it's good for people who are light spenders who want to maybe spend like $5, $10 a month on this game. It'll give you a lot of value for that. And if you're free-to-play, saving up your primo gems, doing the quest, it will give you a lot of primo gems to help you roll for the characters that you do want. You're just not going to get all of them. And definitely not their weapon either. Don't even roll for weapon banner. That's a whole different story. So if all this sounds good to you, I believe that you'll find Genshin Impact an enjoyable game to play. If you like the world building, if you like the environment, if you like the characters, and you don't have a problem with their gacha from the information I provided, then I recommend you download the game and try it out. It's free anyway, you know, it doesn't hurt to try. Of course, since you are starting into a game that is 3 years old, you will encounter some disadvantages as a new player. But first, I want to debunk the idea that you would have to play catch up with other players in the game. I'm sure the community is always talking about the newest character and content that's being released, but that doesn't mean that you can't engage in those conversations as well. Genshin Impact is a story-based and 99% a single-player game with no PvP aspects, so there's no real catching up to do in relation to other players. However, I will say that new characters that come out will require resources from the newer regions, which will be locked to newer players until they get to a certain part of the story, which may take a while. But this goes into my next point as to why now is a good time to start Genshin Impact. The first reason is they're doing rerun banners right now. So for this patch 4.3, the current banner right now is the Raiden Shogun banner and Yoimiya banner. And it's really good for new players. Since this banner, all the characters here, you can make a strong team out of the 4 right there. Especially for the Raiden banner. You can make a strong team with all the raid up characters. So it's a great banner if you want to get value out of your primo gems as a new player. Like I said though, the newer characters, Raiden Shogun, will require resources from the newer regions of the game, which will be locked to you if you're just starting out. So Raiden Shogun, she's from Inazuma, and Inazuma's locked to new players until you get to a certain point in the quest line. I think it takes around maybe like 10, 12 hours, I think, if you're not speedrunning to get to Inazuma. So you know it's not that long. The banner is here for like 30 days. So you have some time to get there and get the character and get the resources before they leave. So this means that in comparison, the newer characters that come out from Fontaine, which is the newest region, you might need like 50 hours to get there. So you won't have to go through 30 to 40 hours of quest lines to gain access to the level up material if you roll for the banner right now. Additionally, let's say you don't like any of these characters for any reason on these banners right now. It's a great time to play the game. It's a great opportunity to play the game and stack up primo gems without the FOMO on a new character that you want to pull for. You couldn't summon for because you just started. Eventually, you'll find a character you want to pull for, and by then you'll have played enough and have enough primo gems to get them. My second reason is Lantern Rite, one of Genshin Impact's biggest events, is also coming up on January 31st. It's a great opportunity to learn more about the characters while earning some free summons. On Lantern Rite, you also get a free 4-star character and a lot of summons. You get like at least 10, 12 summons for events. So now's a great time to start. Now you might wonder, for this current banner, if these characters are so old, Raiden Shogun was released in what, 2021, 2022, I forget. She's pretty old, bro. You might think they might be bad, but that doesn't mean they're bad. For gacha games, you know, power creep is real, but I'm glad to say that Hoyo has done a pretty good job in reducing the amount of power creep in this game. So Raiden Shogun, for example, is still one of the best characters in the game, in my opinion. Yoimiya, on the other hand, like, she's always been bad, so there's no power creep. She's always been pretty dog shit, so only roll for her if you like her. But, you know, Raiden Shogun, 3 years old character, I forget how old she is, but she's still really good. And regardless, like I said before, Genshin Impact is a single player game, and you can clear almost all the content with any 5-star character, any 4-star. As a matter of fact, some of the 4-star characters in this game are absolutely busted. So the 5-star characters are really just there to enhance your experience with the game, so you can play as a character you really resonate with. So, you know, if I encourage you, no matter what the current rate up banner is, if you see a character you like, summon them. Even if it's Yoimiya, just summon them. Now, let's talk about some of the advantages. We talked about the disadvantages. Let's talk about some of the advantages of starting Genshin Impact right now. You know, since like I said, Genshin Impact is 3 years old, they have added a lot of story content into the game. And I mean a lot. So like I said, they added, what? There's 5 worlds now. We started with 2. So, yeah. On average, it takes about 66 hours to complete the main story of the game thus far, with new patches every 6 weeks that they add with new content, and a new region every year. So that's 66 hours to complete the main story on average. That does not include side missions. That does not include character story quests. That does not include events, etc. The second reason, or second advantage you get for starting the game now, is that since the game has been out for so long, you have a lot more information to make less mistakes at the start of your journey. back when the game first came out, no one knew what they were doing. We thought Bennett was bad. We thought Xing Cho was bad. We didn't know Xiangling would become the best character in the game. Those are all 4-star characters, by the way. We didn't know how good they were going to be. But now you'll know what the best characters are, how to build them, what teams to put them on. You have so many guides out there to make sure that you have the best opportunity, best experience in Genshin Impact. So, of course, if a new character comes out, we may get something wrong, but overall, the game is way more understood now. And there's also been a lot more quality of life updates, such as less repetitive daily quests, and more efficient artifact farming, which you'll get to later on. So yeah, that's my overall sum up on if you should start Genshin Impact right now. Like I said, if you find the world to be appealing, you like the graphics, you think it's cool, there's some characters you think are particularly interesting, and you don't have a problem with the gacha system, go. Why are you watching this video? Install the game right now. But you know, if you don't particularly resonate with the gacha system, that might be okay. I'd still say give it a try. If you don't particularly resonate with the gacha system, you might still like it, because like I said, it's a single player game. You don't need to have the 5-star characters. There's a new event coming up. The current banner isn't a new character, so you won't have FOMO. So yeah, now's a great time to start Genshin Impact and just embark on the journey. There's no catching up to do. You're kind of playing at your own pace. So yeah, that's my thoughts on if you should start Genshin Impact 2024. Let me know if you're gonna download it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe if you're feeling generous. But yeah, I'll see you on the next video.